Cool, cool, cool. Is that better? I think you can see it a little bit better that way. I see the light gleaming on it, but maybe now. Don't forget, support the Saginaw STEM if you get a chance. Now, the NBA play-in. No, that's the other one. Now, oh, today's the 11th now, right? Okay. There it is. Now, let's go to this. Because I want to be very clear here. Why the NBA play-in games are growing. And when I mean grow, I mean in interest. Like there is a actual interest in the NBA play-in games. More than they are any other profession, sports, or whatever you want to call it. These play-in games have been more vital than anything you've seen developed within the last probably 4 or 5 years. Let's go into why. Why the play-in games? New. Don't know if you can see it, but new. It's something new. Right? People line up for the new. This is probably what, the 3rd year, 4th year they've done play-in games. So now, due to that fact, the new factor, that's the wow factor. Oh, by far. Should you take the Lakers in 8.5? I would say no. Take Minnesota. If I'm a betting man, bet on Minnesota. And the 8.5. Lakers will win, but not by 8.5. Now, let's take more of a look into this, because I want to be very clear once again. Bet the over 233, yes. Bet the over. Now, here it is. The NBA playoffs. First rounds. See, the NBA is different than any other sport when it comes to their playoffs. Now, when you look at this, the first round, people viewing the first round of the playoffs, is the lowest round of their entire rating system. First round ratings, out of a scale of 2 to 10, we put it at about a 2 to a 4, right, as far as points in their rating system. The play-in tournament, the ratings is higher than the first round playoffs. So your first round NBA playoff series for the past 2 years, the play-in ratings, even as far as attention on social media, is entirely greater than the first round of the playoffs. That means all these games that are being played, the interest is more in the play-in than it is the first round of the playoffs. Let's go to the second round. Second round of the playoffs has a slight uptick over the first. The second round gets about a 3 to a 5. Just a slight uptick in the second round than the first round. First round is almost like you could throw it in the trash. For the past 2 years, no one was really caring about the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. Then you get to the conference finals. where this is where the interest starts to come in for the East and the West, mostly the West. The play-in tournament outranks and comes in about the same rating number, comes in about the second round of the playoffs. The play-in is about anything from a 3 to a 6. Depends on what's happening. When the Lakers played Golden State, that ratings for that game outdid any first round game they have done. It outdone a lot of the second round games. But here it is when you come to the conference finals. This rating is normally a 4 to a 7, depending on who's playing. This Western Conference, when they had the Houston Rockets with James Harden versus the Golden State Warriors, that was a high number. It's a very high number. Now, the play-in doesn't beat the Western Conference or the conference finals games. But as far as interest, it did on social media. Now, NBA Finals, of course, this is where the big uptick is for the NBA. The NBA Finals normally comes in from a number of an 8 through 11. Sometimes when the Cleveland was playing Golden State, the number was like 13 to 15. It was that high in points. Those 13s in points, those are like views and points per thousands, hundreds of thousands. So it's not like probably how you're thinking the numbers are. Now, why is this play-in thing happening at such a fast rate? It's not making sense. This fast rate in number seems to be very vast, very quick, very spreading. And it's because of interest. Now, is the play-in tournament good for the sport? Does it make it more competitive? No. What you're saying is the teams that are 7th and 8th in our division have no chance of winning an NBA championship. So let's make a tournament to draw interest in the first round of the playoffs before the first round of the playoffs. The first round of the playoffs have not been gathering the interest that they deem as rewardable. So you create a system in which now, okay, we can move forward with actual, what they would consider reasonable reference. But in actuality, it's not reasonable. It's actually sleazy, in other words. This techniques that they're using. It's greed. March Madness. That is the green. That is the key to basketball superiority. Is March Madness. The NBA wish they had something like March Madness. So what they want to do, instead of competing against March Madness and getting their ass whooped every year by March Madness, the NBA decided, let's flip the script. So what is flipping the script? They said, instead of fighting them, we're going to join them. We're going to steal from them. So the NBA decides, let's steal. So what did they steal? They stole a singular game format and made a little mini tournament called the play-in as an experiment. As I predicted, in the future, what's going to happen is more play-in type scenarios are going to happen as they make little tournaments across different countries to lure in the international dollars. The game has become more Euro. So you have more European dollars coming into basketball and more endorsements, which means more revenue, right? So the owners are going to okay this. Now, here's the thing about the NBA play-in. The single elimination is what makes the March Madness ticks, according to a business mind. But the business model of the March Madness isn't just about single elimination. It's also about the connectivity of the team over the individual. See, the NBA is individually player driven. They're player driven. March Madness is team driven. So when a team plays, you see everybody comes in as a team. They all wearing the school uniforms. Somebody used to go to that school. Someone used to go to that university. That's their alma mater. So they are part of this team that's representing them on the court. You don't even know half of the players' names. You won't remember them after the tournament, some of them. So the majority of them you won't. But you remember the school. Because, see, not everybody can play in the NBA. Right? The NBA might have a team in your city, but you don't feel like you were never a part of the team. You might feel like, I feel like I'm part of the team. You could feel like that. Don't mean you're a part of the team. And then in actuality, you have a bigger problem. You can't see it yet, but let me help you. Your bigger problem is this. March Madness gives you that what the NBA cannot. Real basketball play at its rawest form. So now you get these kids who are learning the game as they're playing in the biggest thing, and they get to learn under the scrutiny and all this pressure. And you see stars being born. Right before your eyes. The NBA used to be this way, where you get to see someone get to the playoffs and then they start jumping into where you say, okay, a star is born. Now they sell and try to create stars. Once they start trying to make people stars before they've proven it, which was a crash and burn scenario for the NBA for years, they finally got one that panned out. LeBron James. Now, the Kobe Bryant situation worked out, but that was different. And we'll get to that. You see, Kobe Bryant was doing the next Michael Jordan before he was even in the NBA. His dad played in the NBA. He used to attend and practice with the Philadelphia 76ers illegally, but it was allowed. Kobe Bryant knew all the plays before the draft. Kobe Bryant knew he was going to be a Los Angeles Laker before the end of that night. So when the Hornets drafted him, they was like, don't worry. All part of the plan. He knew he was going to Los Angeles. He knew the Lakers, they were working behind the scenes to get Kobe to LA. Now, here's what's going to get even more interesting for you. We're seeing situations here that need your attention. Greatly need your attention. March Madness gives you an experience that you can never, ever, ever, ever forget when you attend the games. It's not a bunch of individuals at a game. You'll see a whole section of 200, 300 people all dressed the same coming to the game. They come to the game dressed in their uniform. Why? Because anybody and almost everybody can go to a school. It's the school. It's the university. That's what sells it. They have probably went to that school. They remember their grandkids are going to go. Their kids are going to go to that school. So now their school is being represented out there. They want to support their school. They want to say they were there. They're going to be on social media. So you're not going to ever beat you, even though the NBA thought they were weakening NCAA basketball, which they have with the actual gameplay, because you got a lot of these one and done players. So you got all this immense talent that comes into college basketball. And they're so good coming into high school that you know they're NBA bound, but they're not really ready for the NBA. They just better than most of the college players that they have that comes in as freshmen. So the NBA wants those people right away. College basketball says, look, you got to at least give us a year. All this taking them out of high school, y'all trying to ruin our game. So what they found out is that you're having more polished players now in college because they're staying 2-3 years. You're not one of those one and done guys. You don't really trust how the draft system is going to work for you. So rather than give you that chance, they put you in a situation where it's 4 of you guys on the court. And 4 of you guys are going to be juniors or senior and graduate. So now they got guys that want to be there 3-4 years. Those guys develop into star players. And then you get guys like Malcolm Brogdon, who graduated, went all 4 years through college. Then they come into the NBA. They're more polished. Those guys were shining more than those one and done guys in the NBA. So when these 3-4 year guys keep coming and get drafted, they start playing a lot better than these one and dones. Their bodies matured, the age, maturity. And now here you got this one and done guy who you want to start right away, put him in the starting lineup, and mentally he's not ready to take on this challenge. So you look at all of this talent that you have. Brunson, a lot of these guys were 3-4 year guys. And they've been doing better than these one and dones that the NBA was pushing to get. So you think they're hurting NCAA basketball and improving the NBA when you're actually lowering the play. 3 and 4 year players. 3 and 4 year players are on an uptick. One and done. One and done players are going down like this. One and done players have been going down over the next 10 years. 3 and 4 year players, uptick. One and dones, this is the lowest point it's been. This is the lowest it's been in 2023 for one and done players. If there's a one and done player in the draft this year, forget about him. You don't even want him. You don't. Oh, thanks, Outlaw. Appreciate it. You don't want a one and done guy. He's going to do nothing for your university. I mean, not your university, but for your team. unless he's an immense talent that you can't live without. An instant cash machine. So what's the next thing they got now? Wembanyama, right? Wembanyama is a 7-foot tall Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's 7 foot tall. So he's the next coming of Kevin Durant. A real frail kid who really hasn't shown that he can deal with the NBA pressure. He's not playing against really elite talent. Okay? He's not. So the March Madness is still king of the hill. Nothing is beating March Madness. I don't care what you put in front of it. But the NBA just wants some of that money for the NBA, and I'm not mad at them. The play-in tournament, do I think it's something that should be? No. I think it's done the wrong way. If you're going to do a play-in tournament, use a play-in tournament with those teams that were close to making the playoffs. Have them play an elimination tournament against each other and give those guys a trophy just for the play-in. Okay? And the 7th and 8th spot, they make the playoffs. Why? Because that's what they played 82 games for. If I went to 82 games and I was the 7th seed in the playoffs and I don't make the playoffs because I had to go in a play-in tournament and get beat, what are you saying for 7th and 8th? Now, word around the campfire is that they're trying to make the Lakers the first play-in team to win an NBA championship. To show people anybody can win. Step right up. Look at the Lakers. They were almost out of the playoffs. But with a surprising surge at the end of the season after the All-Star break, they make it all the way from out of the playoffs to 13th place all the way into 7th place. That's never happened before in the whole league. Now, the quest of can the Lakers win an NBA championship coming fresh out of the play-in. Something that's never been done before. So that lets you know anyone can win. So, that's what they're selling right now. And nobody buying that. That's terrible. Because now your team is made up of a bunch of old players. Anthony Davis is 30. And LeBron James is about damn near 50. And you're banking your success of your league around 40-year-old, 30-year-old players that are already damn near out the league. They just brought in Tristan Kardashian back in basketball. For what? This guy who could not be picked up by any team, who could have been picked up by any team of the league for nothing. The Lakers just decided they've seen enough talent in him to bring him on the team over Boogie Cousins. Carmelo Anthony can't get in the league, but Tristan Kardashian can. Oh, there's a lot going on. Oh, we're going to get into that. Because Melo and Bron, I told you, they ain't been cool. And we're going to get into why. We're going to get into the why. LeBron seemed to fall out with everybody, don't? Now, what did we learn here about March Madness? Team. Inclusion. It includes the fans. Because fans actually go to the universities. So they feel they are part of that team. They went to the school. So they don't care who's wearing a jersey. Long as it's got the school name on it and they out there on that court, they don't know them players. You can name everybody who went to the game and had that jersey on. They don't know half of the team. They know probably 2 players because they seen them on campus. So their superstars, they get to see every day. And some people who used to go to the school, they're going there. My dad went to the school. He's at the game. Dad there with the sweater. He'll be wearing the sweater he had back 30 years ago when he was there. I was there 30 years ago. This is the sweater I wore. This is an original one. That there stuff y'all got now. It's my sweater. He's there for rebounds and defense. This man was out rebounded by point guards. So how the hell is he there for rebounds and defense? He's a walking 6 fouls. That's why he's not in the NBA now. But thank you. But now he's a Laker. He's there for rebounds and defense. No, this tells me they want to sit Gabriel. LeBron and Gabriel don't get along. He hates Gabriel. And Gabriel he has mental lapses on the court. So it is what it is. He's a veteran. Veteran just means you've been there too long. And once again, we're promoting an old team. Old players. Do I think the Lakers will win an NBA championship or even go to the finals? No. Do I think that the NBA would put them there? If they do that, they have torpedoed this league. They have torpedoed this whole league. Because not only people are already suspicious on if this is like this. Is this the NBA or is this WWE? You gonna leave no question to any doubts. This season alone lets you know this was the biggest, most corrupt season in the history of the National Basketball Association. Period. Hit the like button just for that. This revealed everything. This whole season was terribly scripted. Everybody saw it coming a mile away. No one thought the Lakers wouldn't make the playoffs. This was so terrible. And everybody wants to blame the refs. Well, here, let me tell you something else about the refs. Refs. Don't blame the refs. I know, a shocking thing you're hearing me say, right? Don't blame the refs. Because it's not the refs' fault. The NBA changing these rules made it difficult for them to do their jobs. How can they do their jobs when there's no control? Absolutely no control. Okay, I'll turn it down. There's your glare. Now, when there's no control, how can you make any type of decisions that, one, make any sense? Because it doesn't. If it doesn't make any sense, why are you doing it? Have anybody ever thought about that? If it doesn't make any sense, why will you continue to do it? Of course it's collusion, but they can't let the Lakers win the championship. You know why? Because the odds were so great at the beginning of the season that if anybody put money on the Lakers to win the championship at the beginning of the year, it's going to make a killing. Now, that's my only reason for them saying they wouldn't do it. But they'll try to sell it and get them to go to the second round. Probably the Western Conference. No, not Western Conference. Second round at least, yes. Now, the Lakers were in 13th place. With the remaining games, I said they would have to go 18-5. They couldn't afford to lose more than 5 games because that would put them on the cusp of not making the playoffs. So that meant all the teams that were ahead of them when they were in 13th place because they finished in 7th. So they went from 13 to 7. That is amazing. 6 positions. So that means 6 teams would have to lose at least 39 to probably 38% of the remaining games. 6 teams would have to lose 39% or 38% of their next games. And what did we see? The Mavs, the Jazz. Who else fell down? Minnesota. The Pelicans went up. And they took the Jazz out. But the Pelicans is the only one. The Pels, they went up. So they don't count. The Pelicans jumped way ahead of everybody. So while that was happening and the Pelicans shot up, OKC basically stayed the same and they lost about 38. It was close to 38, about 35%. But they stayed the course. But they started to fall. You see how that goes? Well, Portland was already on that downslide. They were never going to be there. I'm saying take Minnesota plus the 8.5 is what I'm saying. The Pelicans never went up. That's what this man just said. They never went up. They won like 13 games in a row. Almost. You know. If that ain't going up, I don't know what is. They went up, Mavs went down. Remember, you're listening to the guy that gives you the information before they say it. I told you the NBA was going to investigate the Mavs. I told you what had happened. I told you the reason why. Then the next day, they leaked all the information that they finna investigate the Mavs. This is after the All-Star break. If I wasn't clear about that. All of this was after the All-Star break. The Lakers could not lose I think they lost 6 games. But I said 18-5 would be the risk for them making the play-in. and making the next round or what have you. Now, the Lakers being in 10th would not help them. I tried to explain this yesterday. But we're missing a team here. There's 5. We should have 6. Who else is in the play-in that I'm forgetting? Who's in the play-in that I forgot? Play-in. Not the playoffs, the play-in tournament. Play-in, ladies and gentlemen. Man, this just shows you how much people really don't watch the game. Oh, I know it's the team I forgot. The actual Lakers. There we go. I tried to see which one of you guys will remember. So now, the Lakers are the only team that was up there. And now the Lakers are at the top and not the bottom. Why would that be? To make that kind of a jump, all these teams would have to lose damn near 43% of their games. But why would they jump the Lakers all the way up to 7 from 13th place? Why would they take them up so high? That seems like almost collusion. For them to make the 10th or 8th seed is reasonable, but all the way up to 7? Well, why would that be? Well, it's because they would not have any play-in games at home. So that does not benefit the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers need home games. Sell tickets to celebrities, blah, 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 right? I am not talking about records of last year into now. I'm talking about this season. So, by the Lakers being in the play-in at 7th, they only need to win 1 game to be in the playoffs. That suits LeBron James just fine. For an older team who would need the rest, this is perfect because it's going to be no more of these 3, 4, 5 days of rest stuff for them. Now they got to play. Mac Mizzle, the NBA would love to see Golden State play the Lakers in a Western Conference Finals. And to me, you torpedo your league by doing this. I think Golden State gets eliminated in the first round by the Kings. I think the Lakers are eliminated in the second round. I sound drunk. I know. The Kings are a better team. The Grizzlies will be eliminated in the first round by the Los Angeles Lakers. They're going to have their Grizzlies Lakers series, the grudge match, Dillon Brooks versus LeBron, and yeah, Shannon Sharp in there. See, the NBA was supposed to bar Shannon Sharpe from all games. Now Shannon Sharpe is part of the storyline of help selling the NBA. So now they're going to put this all together, and this is going to be the scenario. The Grizzlies in 5. I would love for anybody to eliminate LeBron James. That's my only interest here, and get him getting out of it. I hope the Minnesota Timberwolves beat the living hell out of them tonight. And even if they lose, they're not eliminated. They got to lose twice. And the NBA is not going to risk having the Lakers out of the playoffs. But they're not part of the championship agenda. Because now, if you go into making the Lakers part of the championship agenda, you're ruining the league. You cannot model your new future NBA. You're wasting 2 generations of talent being wasted. The draft that had Tatum, Fox, and everybody that came, Jaylen Brown, that era, that comes like once every 10 years when you have a talent-driven league like that, and the Lakers squandered it with Lonzo Ball. And Kobe thought that was a mistake, that they should have taken Tatum. And he questioned and baffled him as to what the hell was the Lakers thinking by taking Lonzo Ball. And that was only a beginning to an end because he had all these followers on Facebook. Jeannie Buss was like, he's famous. Don't nobody really know those other guys. Everybody knows Lonzo Ball. He's a star. His Laker workout was at his home in the backyard of his house with Magic Johnson coming over there. And they recorded. No one was taking Lonzo Ball at that pick. And Jackson was going to get picked up and was going to go to the Boston Celtics, but he overslept the meeting. Well, he overslept and missed his plane flight. So now, since he missed his plane flight, that put him at a disadvantage. Because once he went to sleep and missed the plane, that was it. It was over. No, I won't, Jamil. Right. They took Jason Tatum. It was between Jackson and Tatum who they were going to take, and they were leaning more towards Jackson. So the Celtics they was having a dinner. They was going to announce that they were going to take him with the draft and the pick if he was available. And he missed the plane. And Boston said, well, that's it. We're taking Jason Tatum. Because he's not reliable. It's the biggest day of his life, and he's missed the plane because he overslept. What happens if it's a big game? We can't depend on that guy. And mostly all these teams are losing money. So they'll take any deal that's waved in front of their face. Why do you think there's so many new owners in the NBA? There are tons of them with no idea in sight of what's going on, how to do anything. The whole process is just bizarre to me. This is how my day has been. Bloom. Bloom. All day and night. I just don't know how many of these there are. Let me just stop clicking on them. That's how many messages I get. And it will keep popping up as long as I turn this thing on. So I've gotten used to this. But that's why the play-in has become more of a predominantly what you would call it's more predominantly a what they would say a friendly league. You know, it's more of a content based where you would see some of the best players in the world square off against each other, and the play-in situation gives supposed to be a single elimination style tournament. But we haven't been receiving that. What we've been receiving has been something lesser than what everyone else should be able to accept by any codes of any standards. The play-in is a way of trying to fix what the problem actually is, which is the actual play itself. It's too many cooks in the kitchen coming up with what they think is the right idea and direction of where the league should go. When David Stern was the judge, jury, and the executioner of saying, this is what we're doing, this is how it's going. I don't care what anybody got to say about it. That's what's missing. Well, it's too much player input. If the players did it any which way they wanted, the game wouldn't be played. They'd be like, I think we should play once a week like the NFL. Yeah. Even though they got 5-6 months off. Think about it. The NBA plays from when do the games come back? They come back in November. October. Okay, so you have most people, they season over right now. So they chilling. So that's April. So if you make the playoffs by May, you're done. So you got June, July, August, September. So you got about 5 months off of basketball. So you play half a year. You have a 5-month vacation from basketball. And they're talking about eliminating all of that and having the season start in December, near Christmas. That's what the new league, this is what they wanted. They want the season to start in December. They get better numbers. Because the first month of the season, they lose out. November is the worst month for basketball. Why? Because they're competing against the NFL. And now that the NFL's got Monday night, they get crushed on Monday nights. Thursday nights, they're getting crushed. And now Sundays, they're getting crushed. So those days, they're taking a beating all through November. And then Tuesday night games, they ain't their biggest games. Wednesday night hasn't been great. But what about Friday night? Now they should be on. Well, people going out to the clubs and they're getting back outside. So now it's like, well, damn, people are going out again. Now they're not watching our games. They're watching the highlights. So now we're right back in the same boat that we started in. Remember the games used to come on Saturday mornings? Oh, you don't get Saturday morning games no more. Saturday mornings and Saturday afternoons used to be the NBA games. Nope, they come on at night now. Why? What changed? Because they can't compete with NCAA. This is not a problem. During the Jordan era, that's right, Skippy. When you've been promoting a player for 20 years and have not moved on to promote the players that are better than him and that can sell your league, that are the league, Steph Curry has not been promoted like LeBron James. And it's Steph Curry's league. Everybody wants to play like Steph. No one's going to camp saying, I want to play like LeBron. I'll start watching the NBA once he retires. That's good. Who in the world goes to a camp and say, I want to play like LeBron James? Play like what? You want to just run people over and throw the ball up? I've never seen garbage just promoted like that. The plan is a good idea. It's just the format is wrong. Nobody who is seventh and eighth should be in the play-in. They should be in the playoffs because they earned it. They played 82 games and they earned their positions in 82 games. They should not be put in a play-in tournament to see if they make it. That is ridiculous. They've already made it. That's what the whole 82 games was about. The play-in tournament should be something separate with the teams that did not make the playoffs. Have them play in a single elimination tournament, all the teams that did not make the playoffs. They all play a single elimination tournament at the end of the season while you take a week off to get them, everybody else get a week's rest and get ready for the playoffs. And then that 1 week, you have those games for the play-ins. Done. They get their trophy for the play-in championship. And that's it. That's how you should do it. It's really simple. It's really simple. They overcomplicate things. And when it don't have to be, it's really simple. No, that wasn't the case. The NBA viewership was up. The NBA viewership was all the way up. And no, NBA viewership was all the way up when LeBron was playing against Steph Curry and the Warriors. So in 2015 to 2018, the ratings were extremely high for the NBA Finals. As an overall sport, I can see what you're saying, but no, they wanted to put Luka Doncic in the play-in tournament just so that they could. Shouts out to Angela Stanton King. She just sent me I think a link to a video. I want to check that out. Huh. People want me to respond back to Gilbert Arenas' Detroit Piston thing. Isaiah responded back to. I might do a video on that. So this is what happens when you have people that don't understand the information that's out there and they try to take from you and start going with it. Um, do I have them winning by more than 5? I don't know about that, but yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know about the 5, but the Miami Heat will win. This may be Trae Young's last time in an Atlanta Hawk uniform. Oh my God. They keep trying to redo stuff. They want a new Shaq and Kobe. AD and LeBron, the new Shaq and Kobe. And only stupid people follow that. They're not Shaq. AD is not even close to Shaq. I mean, what could they possibly say? It's just still, it ain't even sunk in that Kobe Bryant is no longer with us. Like, that's just, to me, it still feel like he's here. That still ain't really set in for me. I never felt that way. Y'all really think y'all surprised me with that. I never thought in my wildest dreams I would ever see anyone in the same situation. No. Oh, what I got on the Patreon to coming today? Get ready for it. Get ready for it. all I got to say is get ready for it. Do you know why the creator of Cash App was stabbed to death? I know. And you're going to know on the Patreon today. So if you're on the Casino for Life Patreon, you didn't know before about the Casino for Life Patreon, you now know. Download the Patreon app. It's free to download the app. Sign up to the Casino for Life Patreon because it's going down. Oh, I did a video on that yesterday. It's on the timeline about Rudy Gobert. That's right. So shouts out to Kwame Brown Bus Life. Kwame Brown Bus Life 2.0. Kwame Brown got a Patreon now. So he rocking over there. And we out.